What's up, everybody? Welcome to Dirt to Whiskey with Mike and Billy, Season 2, Episode 4. We got Miss Elizabeth Keller in the house with us and special guest Brian Fulton of Goose-Gear. Mike, what are we drinking?
Tonight, I actually shared what we were drinking with you, but not Liz, unfortunately. So Billy and I are drinking Bulleit Bourbon tonight out of Kentucky. What are you drinking?
I mean, I'm on that Kentucky train, man. I've got Angels.
Nice.
Angels Envy. Oh, and let's get a reflection. That's cute.
Yeah, this is a good go-to bottle. Not too expensive. Kentucky, obviously, is Kentucky bourbon. I think it's 68% corn, 28% rye. What proof is this? 90 proof. So it's actually pretty smooth, decent. It's got some decent flavor notes in it. I get a little bit of a cedar to it, but a little bit of sweetness, kind of a caramel in this one. So, what do you taste anything, Billy?
Wow.
Just a giant ice cube?
Bourbon.
Bourbon. Your sophisticated palate over there.
Oh, in my wine glass still.
Hey, at least there's not Coke in it this time.
Let's not go that far. Don't put that evil on me.
Dude, we're gonna get so much hate mail.
Yeah. I do not put Coke in here. So, do you at least remember the last time we actually had Bulleit together, Mike?
We were camping, weren't we? We were camping?
You've gone once in 5 years. You should remember.
My memory's not that good.
Gosh.
Actually, I've gone twice with you in 5 years.
That's true.
So, yeah. The other time I was drinking Bulleit wasn't with you. Well, I was camping.
That's true. I brought my Bulleit on my Goose-Gear platform that trip.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Brian from Goose-Gear is joining us.
Yes,
Speaking of Goose-Gear and all that goodness. Yeah. How you doing, Brian?
I'm very good. Thank you. Thanks for having me, and excited to see what you guys do and talk about all things camping and off-road and apparently whiskey.
So I guess the key to getting you on this podcast is obviously you've never listened to an episode. Otherwise, you probably would have never agreed to this.
It's kind of a prerequisite, I think.
Yeah, we're going to run out of guests at some point. But until then, Brian, most of our listeners that have anything to do with off-road, overlanding, anything, have heard of Goose-Gear. You pretty much. So I guess give me the rundown, because when you and I first met, our buddy Pat introduced us to each other, and you were still in the really, really small shop over by the 405. And I walked inside, and it was like kitchen cabinets, and I'm like, is this the right place? And I'll let you kind of take it from there, because you have an interesting story with all that.
Yeah, so we started in cabinetry. So my wife at the time was countertop manufacturing. She's third generation, and I was doing cabinetry. I did a lot of cabinetry throughout my life, and we basically merged the two. Started a company called Liquid Amber, and we built cabinets for a long time. We started the company in 2010, and about 2014. We had been working 60, 70, 80 hours a week. Obviously the economic collapse in 2008 kind of destroyed the contracting world. So it was very difficult go from 2010 to 2012 and 13. And I was kind of over working 70, 80-hour work weeks. And my daughter was basically coming up on 10 years old in 2014, and realized that, this is just not what I want to do. Woke up in a complete panic attack in the middle of the night one night, and all I could think was my daughter's 10 and we haven't done anything awesome. And I've kind of missed the last 4 years of her life because I was just working crazy, just trying to keep the business running and keep things going. And started doing some research on online. I had a 4-wheel drive growing up in high school. And after that, another 4-wheel drive, a couple of different trucks, Toyota and a Ford and stuff like that. And did some research on YouTube and started looking for 4-wheel drive trails, and came across Expedition Overland, and Andrew St. Pierre White at the time I think he was out of South Africa. Now he's in Australia, and watched that, and was, we grew up going off road, and we would go out, go off road, and then go home every night. And these guys are going off road for miles, and then camping, and then going further, and then camping, and then going further, and then camping. And really, that just caught my eye, and I was like, man, that is awesome. I want to do that. And so I know, right? 2014, I sold my truck. I had a big work truck, F350 crew cab long bed that was used for hauling cabinets. Sold that and went out and bought a 4Runner the next week. Did some research on, some of the forums out there, Expedition Portal, Overland Journal, that kind of stuff, American Adventurist, and saw that everyone was building, side-by-side drawers, and they were putting them inside their vehicles. They put a fridge on top, and, we had a cabinet shop and CNC machine, and we built custom cabinets and commercial cabinets for a living. So we had all the equipment. So I got my daughter, and we went to the shop on one Saturday morning, drew everything up, put it on the machine, cut it all, edge banded it, threw it together, and put it in the back of the truck pretty much by noon, and went to lunch.
So easy.
Yeah. So it would take everyone a weekend or 2 or 3. We did in a matter of a few hours, and it was precision cut, threw it in, went camping with it, and went out with some other friends, and got kind of exposed to overlanding.
So before that, there were only really a couple drawer systems, and they were pretty much specific to Australian models, right? Made by a couple manufacturers.
Yeah, there's a couple ARB obviously is a very large company, global company, make a good product. So they have drawer systems obviously that fit various vehicles. Theirs are more generic as far as they're vehicle specific as far as a fit kit. So like the trim pieces and that kind of stuff, but the actual size of it's kind of universal across multiple platforms. So you were kind of entering a market that was basically here in America. If you had an 80 series, great, you could get one. But other than that, if you had a Jeep, 4Runners, stuff like that, Fords, anything else, like you were left doing what you did and building it on your own. Correct. Yeah, they didn't really have a lot of the U.S. market covered at that point because there just wasn't demand. Overlanding almost didn't exist in the United States. I mean, it existed in the fact that people did car camping, but
that's what we call a car camping, right? Yeah,
exactly. The term overlanding didn't really exist. No one knew what it was, and if you typed it into Google or you typed it in your iPhone, it basically gave you an autocorrect saying you're misspelling a word. That's how it was back then.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So back when you were doing 70, 80 hours a week, this was pre Goose-Gear, and how many employees did you have doing cabinets?
We usually ranged between 4 to 6, sometimes 7. So we were a smaller shop, but we were, CNC automated. So we didn't have a lot of labor pushing stuff through table saws. We did a lot of machine work, and we didn't do a huge volume. We did, smaller projects up to like $100,000. Anything over that, we wouldn't really touch because it just requires a larger crew than we ever really wanted to have at that time.
Gotcha. So 2014 comes in, you and your daughter take a stab at building something for the 4Runner. Yeah. And then I assume you took some time off from work, did some camping?
Yeah, we did. We started camping, made it a point. We wanted to go camping at least once a month. And, if you go camping once a month for 3 days, that's 30 days in a year, right? 36 days in a year. So it adds up really quick. So you don't think about it that way. Until you actually sit down and start doing it. So we made it a point to take a trip at least once a month in 2014, 2015. And what really kickstarted the company was meeting Dave Bennett from American Adventurist. When we drew the cabinets, we have CAD programs. So we 3D rendered it. We sent it to the CNC machine, cut it, and put it up. And I was like, well, I'm going to throw this up on the forum and just post it, and maybe someone will call us and say, hey, I want a drawer system for my vehicle. Maybe we'll create some extra side business, like a little hobby thing.
Yeah, probably won't go anywhere.
No, it won't go anywhere. No, nothing at all. So I posted it on, and about 6 months later, Dave Bennett, the owner of American Adventurist, actually reached out and sent a message and said, hey, I have a Tacoma with a flip pack. Would you be interested in building cabinets for it? And I replied back, of course, being typical business owner, I replied back, of course I would. And then I Googled what a Tacoma with a flip pack was because I'd never seen one, had no clue what he was talking about. And when I saw the truck online, I was like, oh my gosh, that's incredible. I have to have one of those. And so he scheduled a time where you went out to his house and he had been in the industry for years and years, for before it was even an industry, before Overland Journal, before Expedition Portal, before all of the Overland Expos, everything. And he's friends with all those people. And so he's very well connected to the industry. And he said, look, there's a potential market here. It's really small. It's a niche of a niche, but there is a potential market here. And he started it was really a big jumpstart because he really set a lot of the European companies, the South African companies, the Australian companies, because he's in the military, so he's traveled all over the world. And so he's seen a lot of this stuff firsthand. And that was a really big kickstart. And he said, it's a really small niche, but it might be something worth looking at. And so after talking with him for an extended period of time, we basically said, what, if I'm going to build something, I'm going to build the best product we possibly can and just put it out there and see what happens.
And what year was this?
That was late 2014, early
Okay.
2015. So 2014 was the first time we built anything. So we built it in 2014. It was around July, August, and we built his system, and he left our shop literally and drove up to the American Adventurist Mountain Rendezvous up in Big Bear and opened his truck up, and that was the first time anyone ever saw anything from Goose-Gear.
Good
That's
for you
awesome.
guys. Hell yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, it was awesome.
So did your phone just start ringing off the hook after that event, or?
Surprisingly, no. So the reality was we didn't know, we had built that system. We had no clue what we were doing. We were still learning about the market, the industry. We had a clue about, building cabinetry and that kind of stuff. And I have, a design background and computer-aided drafting technology background. And so for me, that part's easy. The marketing side of it, not so much. Not a marketing guy. So we didn't really, it was hard because people came up and said, well, how much is that? And we didn't even have a clue yet because we hadn't put labor costs to it and all that stuff. So we couldn't answer any questions. The system was very complex. So
And then once you have different models too, then you have to figure out pricing for all that.
Exactly. Yeah. So when you're going to do, every vehicle is vehicle specific, right? It's like your suspension you guys do and you work on stuff and you're, Mike, when you're doing trucks and building stuff, it's not universal. There's very few things that are universal. So it was tough. And so really he said, Dave said, hey, you should go to Overland Expo. It's the biggest event in the country and you should show off your stuff. So I have a lot of stories. So I don't know how much time we have, but I have a lot of stories. So we said, all right, let's do that. So we build a drawer and we build like literally one drawer and we build like a camp kitchen unit that I built for my 4Runner after I ran the double drawers with the fridge on top and I hated it and I pulled it out and said, this is a terrible design. I redesigned like this cool pull-out camp kitchen. And on my way to Expo West, the transmission blew up in Barstow. And we only had the display in my truck and one drawer.
You don't have good luck with Toyotas.
I hate Toyotas. Did I say that out loud? No.
Go ahead.
That's not
Go
true.
ahead on this podcast. Yeah.
You've got a Ranger fan over here, so.
Ranger fan.
Yeah, I got a Ranger too. Yeah. Actually, it's funny.
You're like a Ford guy.
I am.
With a Toyota problem.
I am 100% accurate. Actually, my other Toyota that I still own right now is actually in the shop again.
You and Billy have twin cruisers.
Oh, really?
Kind of, but mine runs.
Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah.
Mine's like 50%. 50% running, 50% in the shop.
Yeah. Well, I think
what
what made mine run.
blue? Do you know the name of the color?
Yeah, Toyota blue.
It literally is Toyota blue.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, that's what it's
Imaginative.
So yours is running, Billy.
Yeah, that's because
Great
it's got an LS, so it's pretty basic.
Yeah, mine has an LS too. It still doesn't like to run. All the Toyota parts keep breaking. The LS is fine, no problems. The Toyota parts keep breaking.
The Toyota parts are what is it? Rejecting the host like a kidney donor.
Yeah, it's
Dude,
definitely
someone in
that.
your ancestry. Someone in your
Yeah.
I got mine towed once, and it was all because of a blown fuse.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's it.
Sounds. I could have that kind of luck too. Yeah. Yeah.
So are you a shareholder at AAA, Brian, with that?
I do have like the highest level tow package though. That much I can guarantee you. After buying Land Cruiser, I was like, yeah, 25 miles isn't gonna, whatever the rate is, whatever it is, that's not gonna cut it. I need a lot more distance than that with the Land Cruiser.
And you got the Land Cruiser's pretty tricked out. You got a lot of stuff on that. But the thing that blew my mind when I came by the shop over by the 405 was that Super Duty you had.
Oh yeah, the F350.
That thing was nuts. Did you ever see that, Billy? Liz?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
think
actually
so.
I was at your shop, Mike, and you were Brian. You were leaving. We met in the parking lot. I was kind of
That's
coming
right.
in, and you were coming out, and
Yep.
you were in the Super Duty.
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
And then,
I sold that last year and regret every second of it. That was my favorite truck ever. Yeah.
Time to go over to the Cummins Ram side.
phrase,
Sorry.
phrase
Sorry. What was that?
I'm sorry.
I got something in my
shit in your throat.
Yeah. Something choking on something.
Yeah, like an opinion.
Oh, damn.
100% accurate.
Damn. So are you going to do another full size?
Yeah, I am about 99% sure I'm gonna do another full size. We have the Ranger right now. We ordered the 5010 camper from Germany. It's going to be landing. Well, it ships out in about a week. We'll put that on, run that for a little while, see how it does. And then thanks to you guys, obviously the lift and all that stuff got done. So thank you.
Oh, I have your
my
shock
wrench.
spanner
Yes.
in the door pocket of my truck. Do not forget that one.
I'll totally forget that, just to be clear.
We
and
both
you're
will.
you're one of the rare few that get your truck in and back from Mike.
Oh man, this is a tough crowd.
Brian doesn't break his stuff though. You have a bad habit of breaking stuff, so
Yeah.
you
Well,
know.
that's when you use it.
There's that.
That's what happens.
Yes.
I think Brian uses his stuff. I can attest to that. He
Yeah.
does use his stuff.
I do have a tendency to use it, roll it, Oh no, I never did that.
No, you haven't done that.
No.
No, but I'm curious if you're going to test those skid plates we had to trim, or if you have already.
Yeah, the skid plates definitely have some scars on them already. Definitely some scars on the skid plates. Did drag the axle across a rock in Death Valley a few weeks ago. Was not a fun sound, especially because I'm not sure how strong the little axle is on the Ranger.
No, Liz is a Ranger driver as well.
Ah, very
Yeah,
nice.
I am. She's
Yeah.
a 19 too, so
Ah, same year.
cool.
That truck is such a slept on truck.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
would
believe it
agree with
doesn't have a bigger following than it does. It's got tons of power, great transmission, it's comfortable, and they don't really have any problems.
We haven't had any yet.
The,
at all.
the problem is there's just not enough influencers that are getting bought off to really push that truck.
This is 100% accurate.
Yeah,
I mean, think about it.
Trouble for saying this stuff.
Yeah,
my
but
God.
look how much they pushed the Bronco, right? They went out and grabbed all these influencers and they're pushing the Bronco like crazy. They didn't do that with the Ranger, and the Ranger's a
No.
whole lot of
No.
truck.
I don't know if they needed to as much with the Bronco, though. I mean, it's had such history and people have been clamoring for a new version of it forever. So it was something that they already knew would take off, and then they threw influencers on it. So it was just a catalyst and kind of took off from there.
Yeah, agreed. They didn't need to. The Bronco, everyone was waiting for it, and the way they built it, it doesn't need any fanfare, right? It's
Right.
just a great build.
It sells itself. I mean, it really is a good rig.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the
it's a
Ranger,
lot of
though,
fun.
I agree with you. The Ranger, they really dropped the ball on that, as far as I'm concerned, because I think the Ranger is a far superior platform to the Tacoma.
Oh, yeah.
My
Pretty
third-
much anything is a superior platform to the Tacoma at this point.
The third gen Tacoma, I mean, it's just so gutless. It's amazing.
Well, so the Ranger as it sits now, and Liz, you can probably put feedback in on this. The Super Duty you had, Brian, got better or worse gas mileage than the Ranger?
Well, I have a skinny pedal problem, so nothing I drive gets more than like 10 or 11, because it's just all skinny pedal all the time.
What do you get, Liz?
So before we had everything on it, gosh, what were we getting? We were like low 20s.
Nice.
But I mean, with the rack, the tent, and then now our deck system, I'm getting 14.
That good, huh? What size tires do you have, Liz?
35s.
35s. That's commendable.
That's a nice size tire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just did some work to Brian so we can get 35s under it. We got to do what is it? Chinese fire drill of tire swaps.
Three-way tire swap.
Can
between
we say
three
that
vehicles.
now? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
The cool thing about Liz's Ranger is it made it all the way up here,
You're never gonna let that go.
unlike Mike's Jeep
What
or
happened?
his,
What happened?
or his Ram.
it's never made it because it's never tried.
Yeah, it shuts off when it hits the Cali border.
It shuts off when it gets to the top of the Grapevine. I don't go to the Central Valley or anywhere past it unless I take
Yeah.
the ghost.
I can't blame you there.
No.
No.
So back to what we were talking about with Goose-Gear. So you started out pretty much just as a side project in your what little spare time that you had between making cabinets and everything else. So today, all you do is Goose-Gear.
Yeah, that's correct. In
Tell us
2020,
about that.
yeah, in the beginning of 2020, I had moved really heavily into Goose-Gear in 2018, 2019. It basically became my primary work. And my wife continued to run the cabinet and countertop shop. And then slowly, the sales of Goose-Gear continued to increase, and then the cabinet shop and countertop shop was decrease a little bit here and there, just because of what I wasn't servicing as many clients, and we were just trying to. You can't run two business. I mean, I couldn't at the time for sure run two businesses like that. I was just pulled in too many directions. Didn't have the money to hire a big crew and all that kind of stuff, so it was really very time consuming. So I focused more on the Goose-Gear side in 2018, 2019. And in 2020, we were actually in the process of selling the cabinet and countertop shop. And then COVID hit and the buyer backed out immediately. As soon as they shut the state down, he's like, nope, we're done. And so we ended up closing the cabinet and countertop shop, liquidating most of the stuff. And then took most of the guys actually and brought them, and now they all work at Goose-Gear. They've been there ever since. So those guys just continued working, just moved over to a different company and got a new paycheck.
So how many employees are you up to now?
14, 15, I think. Yeah.
That's commendable.
Yeah. Thanks.
I mean, and I remember because you and I talk a lot, and you and I talk a lot about business, and you've really followed your passion, like me. Like I had, the super high stress corporate job dealing with litigation, and you were exactly.
Thanks.
So
thanks. Lawyers, no thanks.
Lawyers, no, nobody wants to deal with lawyers. And you decided, you came to a fork in the road, and you chose to follow your passion. And for you, it seems like it's all about making cool stuff. It's about helping people, going places, doing things, making your mark. And, obviously you've done quite well with it because, I can't keep JL tailgate tables in stock. I keep ordering, platforms from you for customers, JKs, JLs, kitchen modules. We did a whole TRX build out with your stuff. And the customers love it. And it's when I say, I mean, you've been in this industry, as on one end of it, but where I see there's so many different products that we get to install in Jeeps that the instructions are piss poor. It's missing parts. The stuff doesn't fit. When we get your platform and take it out of a box, it just fits in like it was made to be there from the factory. Like perfect fit. I can't say enough good stuff about the product and the time that you guys put into it.
Thanks. We appreciate that.
Yeah. All that hard work pays off. So
yeah,
it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool thing to do, and I kind of think that it's customers love it, and they'll put up with the lead time. And the lead time I know for you guys has been really difficult.
Yeah, it's and since COVID, like everybody in the world, right? We're struggling to get raw materials, and that's been a bit of a challenge for everybody. But we're not alone. But what we have done though is when everyone was out going buying toilet paper in the beginning of COVID, I went out to all my suppliers and I bought all the plywood I could get, all the aluminum I could get, and we really gambled. I shouldn't say we. I gambled. I bet everything I had on the fact that we were going to be busy, and I bought all of the materials I could possibly get. And so it was a matter of about 2 weeks into COVID, and the plywood suppliers were starting to realize that their supplies were dwindling, and people were ordering 2 and 3 and 4 times their normal order quantities because of the toilet paper scare. Freaked everybody out.
All started with toilet paper.
Crazy, right? Yeah. So we doubled, tripled down on materials. I took out a massive loan, the largest loan I've ever taken out, and I bought just an insane amount of materials and put it on the shelf. Yeah. And so,
and never looked back.
no, I didn't. We got lucky, I mean, it could have gone one of two ways. We could have
Yeah.
gone down in a glory of flames with massive debt and a lot of material and no orders, or we could have, kept going. So we actually maintained our lead times. Occasionally we have an order slip here and there, but we've maintained our lead times consistently through all of COVID. So
Compared to the rest of the industry that's doubled or tripled their lead times
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
since before COVID.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. We have the exact same lead time now. Actually, we're shipping stuff right now. We're shipping stuff 2 weeks earlier than we're quoting, but we don't tell people that.
Yeah, we
except for on a podcast.
Under promise, over deliver.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah. So we're still trying to ship everything as quick as we can. And, I know what it's like because I've been in your shoes. We did in the beginning of Goose-Gear, we built vehicles because in the beginning, there wasn't an overland shop in Southern California. There were a couple of boutique guys that sold some stuff, but there really just wasn't like a dedicated overland type shop. And so we actually started building vehicles and doing custom electrical. And really, we focused on the interiors and the electrical, and that was it. And, I remember what it's like when you go to order something and you can't get it. And then the whole job is stuck because you're missing one component. And, that's a huge problem for you guys.
Oh, yeah. Billy knows all about that with broken Jeeps. And
Yeah.
so you shattered a ring gear.
Ooh.
And
amongst other things.
And I had to scour the earth to find replacement parts for your Jeep. Where normally in 2019, I could just pick up the phone to any of my 5 suppliers and gotten you a ring gear. It's crazy. Yeah, it's just crazy. So
yeah, we end up with mismatch ring gears.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Jeez.
The new owner of the Jeep has mismatch ring gears.
Yeah.
But
that's terrible.
Hey, it's serviceable.
Sorry, bud.
Nonetheless. Sorry, but
Sorry.
that thing was fully sorted by the time you sold it. So.
Good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully they don't.
Reliable.
Did you take my shop stickers off of that thing before you sold it, so they don't know where to come back to?
I'm pretty sure they all fell off by that point. Yeah.
Long Beach Mike,
I just left your card in the cup holder.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. If you have any problems, call this guy.
Yeah, just call this guy. It's all under warranty. Come on, bro.
Awesome.
Oh man. So what's wrong with your Land Cruiser now? I guess since you both have Land Cruisers and like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
So what happened to it now?
Well, speaking of delays and parts, the transfer case basically grenaded itself last October. I was getting ready to leave for a trip and just heard a pop, and then all of a sudden just gears just grinding away in the transfer case. And so it blew the input shaft, basically spun a little bit, the gear, and then it basically broke teeth off of the high gear. And so had it towed, take it apart, and the input shaft is from Advanced Adapters. And Advanced Adapters is busy as all get out making transfer cases for Jeeps.
Oh,
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
So what do they want to make? They do not want to make.
They don't want to make your input shaft.
No, because they sell 3 or 4 of them a year because it's a special Toyota to Chevy transmission conversion shaft. And they're like, yeah, we just don't make any. We have no stock. So we're going to make it in February of next year.
So Billy has that same shaft. He's one of the 3.
Yeah, I was listening to this
Still
saying,
no shaft?
shit.
No, not yet. But his, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time.
It's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
So they fixed that in February after sitting for 4 months, and then shipped it out to Kentucky to get it registered because it has an LS swap, and it's the Toyota in California with an LS. So it's registered to Kentucky now, which is nice. And then the bearings, the rear axle bearings are going out. So I'm going around corners 2 weeks ago on the way to Death Valley again, and it's going click, 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 click every time I make a right turn. And so they pull it apart, the bearing shows some wear, and we're going to replace those for now and hope that it's not the spider gears in the ARB air locker that are going out. So we'll find out.
Well, the nice part about
a Death Valley problem to me. Every time you're going out to Death Valley, it's like, nope, we're not having it. Stay away.
Yeah, maybe I should.
It doesn't like the desert.
No, it doesn't.
Man, foreshadowing my problems because I got an ARB locker too.
Well, the nice thing about ARB air lockers is if you have a failure, you can order any part inside that locker. They are 100% rebuildable. If you have a e-locker, you pull it out of the axle, you throw it in the trash can.
Oh, interesting.
That's something a lot of people don't know. You can get every seal, every part for an ARB locker.
Well, that's good. I'm gonna need to order a parts
Yeah,
soon.
I am an ARB dealer, so let me know.
Will do.
I did buy a daily driver in preparation of Land Cruiser problems, but that didn't make it
Oh.
home either.
Did we
that
talk about that on the last podcast?
That one went home on a tow truck too.
Oh, jeez.
I made it.
It's a you
I made it.
problem.
I made it a mile after I bought it. So we finally figured out what was wrong. The old man who had it didn't want to put gas in it, so he kept putting his lawnmower gas in it. But it was
Because he was going to sell it. He was so cheap.
Yeah, so it was like 50% water.
Oh,
great. So
God.
that's the guy that's been maintaining that Volvo for the last 100 and something thousand miles.
Well,
the guy that was too cheap to put gas in it.
We were servicing it, so I know that everything else is good. It's just when he
Right.
decided he was going to sell it, he wasn't going to put more gas into it, and he kept filling it up with his can. from
Gas
the
is
garage.
$4 a gallon up here.
Yeah.
Can
Dude,
you
I was
take
gonna
it to
make a
the
joke
station?
about gas, but damn.
Yeah. So he just filled it up with water, hooked me up. So we're working on that now.
Well, it's cleaner.
Dude, I had
right? He rinsed it out.
Yeah.
Well, it's eco-friendly. It doesn't emit
Yeah,
any
there you go.
gaseous fumes or anything. It's just it's a green environment.
just water.
But that will be a nice car when the Land
Like
Cruiser
Coors Light.
breaks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I got the over under. I'm going to take the Land Cruiser all day over that Volvo. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. That Volvo will be nice when there's snow and ice on the ground, though.
Yeah. Like yesterday. It snowed here yesterday.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, I saw that picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts. Like it's 100 degrees down here and it's snowing at your house.
Well, that's why I wore this shirt. That's why I wore this shirt to keep the snow away.
It's your Magnum PI shirt.
That's
Wishful
it.
thinking.
Right?
I love it.
So, Brian, I got a question.
Yeah.
There had to be a point where the orders started rolling in to where you knew it was going to be sustainable for you guys to be on your own and stand alone, as now you are into industry. You guys are doing this. How long from concept of like when you started just doing one or two here and there was it to where you're like, we can shut the doors on the other business and actually just work Goose-Gear full time?
It was 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, 5 years. The first year we showed anything at Expo, basically everyone was like, "Who do you think you are, showing me a drawer for $1,000 when ARV was selling a pair of drawers for $600?"
Yeah, I said that same thing, but I still bought it.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
Yeah,
And,
well, Mike's right though. Not to hijack this, but Mike's right.
Yeah.
The fit and finish is just what you're paying for, and the fact that everything was just like it was supposed to be there in the first place. Really.
Yeah, thanks. Well,
Yeah.
that's what we go for, right? We want it to look as factory as possible when it comes to all the plate products and all that stuff and seat deletes and all that.
And
And then the drawers, we want to build it so you don't ever have a warranty problem, right? So, I've told the story before where my guy general manager was working for me for about a year, and a customer called up and said, "Hey, my drawer guide broke." And he said, "Okay, well, what do you got?" And he tells him and shows him, says it's this drawer guide. And he comes to me, my general manager says, "Hey, this guy wants a new drawer guide under warranty." And we actually don't have a formal written warranty program. We just take care of anything, right? It's unwritten. So if someone calls with a problem, you just send them the new part. What we do though is we verify that it's a customer, they have the product, rather than someone just, trying to steal some product or whatever. And so he sends a picture in, and I said, "Yeah, that's our system. Send him a new drawer guide." He's like, "It's $100 for this drawer guide. Just for this one piece, it's $100 our cost." And I said, "Yeah, so how many times have you done this in the past 12 months?" He goes, "Oh yeah, this is the first time." I was like, "Yeah, send him a new drawer guide, make him happy."
Yeah.
Right. So everything we build is just overbuilt, over-engineered.
How did he break a drawer guide?
It wasn't actually the drawer guide. It was there's a little yellow tab that you push down to release the drawer guide to pull the camp kitchen out, and that little tab snapped off. That little lever that you use with your finger, that's all that broke. The drawer guide was still functioning, just the lever broke off. So we just sent a new drawer guide.
Those
One time
guys are.
I took my my Jeep to Mike and I said, the door on the platform, it doesn't go back on. I was like wrenching on it and trying to adjust it. I had it in backwards.
That's perfect. Perfect.
You need to put arrows on it for some of your customers.
Yeah.
For
Hey,
some.
in all fairness, when I dropped it off, Mike looked at it and said, "I'll have my guys look at it," because he couldn't figure it out either. And then they came back
Oh,
up.
there we go.
He's
There
like,
we
I didn't even look at it.
go.
Well,
I have
that's
people for that.
more the problem.
Yes.
Oh.
And then he came back and said,
How
I'm like,
many
"What's
of your
over the drawer?"
customers? How many of your customers' cars do you fix every week? I'm gonna guess none. Silence. Exactly.
I put wipers on the other day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So,
So,
Brian,
Yep.
what trips do you have coming up? Tell us all about that.
So show season's here, right? So
Yeah.
we have
It is.
trade shows. Oh my lord, there's.
are you
shows.
going to be at Expo PNW?
Yes, we'll be.
My
at,
man.
Yep, we'll be at Expo West, PNW, Colorado, and we're going to fly out to East and just support dealers out there. We've made the trip out to East for about 3-4 years in a row, but we're just going to go out and support dealers this time. Just save a little bit of money and time. Really, it's the time out. Being gone that long is really difficult for driving because it's 2 weeks round trip. So we'll be going to all those. But as far as camping, supposed to go out camping this weekend. If the Land Cruiser is fixed, then we're supposed to go out this weekend. We'll probably do something simple. Not sure where yet, but maybe up to Big Bear or something. And then we've got Cruise Moab that we're going to with the Land Cruiser in Utah at the end of this month. So this will be my first time at Cruise Moab. So I'm looking forward to that and go out there with the Land Cruiser and do some trails and check out some more Utah stuff.
You need that 2,000-mile AAA radius.
I do need a 2,000-mile AAA radius.
Do you still camp with your daughter? Does she have a favorite place to go camping area?
Yeah, and we haven't camped in a little while. Now she's a teenager, and now she's 18, actually, if you can believe that. That's craziness. So she's 18 now, so she's got her own friends and her own life, kind of. But yeah, we've done a lot of desert camping. A lot of Anza Borrego is one of her favorite places to go. Obviously, anytime we're up in the trees and the mountains and stuff like that, that's always awesome. But the desert's always been one of our favorites.
Cool.
Yep.
Liz,
Yeah,
are you going to be in Bend?
I haven't committed to it. No.
Brian and I are going to be there.
Yeah,
That's true. Yeah.
I'm not going to be there. Liz may not be there. There will be no third.
Nick's going to be there.
Nick is going to be there.
So have you decided, Mike, that you're just not going to go?
I'm just not going to go.
You're just suffering
I'm
from
just not gonna
bitchitis?
No, I'm just not going to go.
Why?
Because it took 3 credit card swipes to fill my goddamn Ram with diesel. Let's start there. That's to get 400. That's to get 450 miles.
I'm going to buy this big old truck, but then I'm not going to drive it because it costs money.
Well,
no,
I'm
going to drive it. I'm just not going to drive it up to Oregon.
Sell it
for
a Ranger. Just sell it
what
for a
does
Ranger.
Liz say? Leave the city to go hang out in the city?
That is how I look at that. It makes sense if you're trying to sell something, but
it does make sense.
Yeah.
Well, who's he selling it to? Guys like me.
Exactly.
Guys like you.
That's it.
You'll be there.
You have a 60 series that needs stuff anyway.
Yeah. I'll just send it down. Just throw in whatever you want.
No, I think it's going to be cheaper to ship it up to you, and you can have your Volvo mechanics try and install it.
Yeah.
Is this where the screws and bolts go?
Hey, they took apart the whole front axle. We did all the seals. We did the bearings. We did brakes and calipers. They fixed my locker.
We're going to send Brian's Land Cruiser up there.
Yeah, for sure. Just going to send it right up to you. Let's keep it.
My guys have gotten it pretty dialed. I have no complaints.
Yeah, no kidding. Awesome. You've had good luck with that thing. I mean, like we said in what was it, 2 episodes ago? You're in the middle of Washington and you're within a AAA radius anywhere in the state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In all fairness, it's I've only driven as far as Seattle, and that was like a good $75 in gas to go to Seattle and back.
Yeah, those BFG carcasses do real good against hypodermic needles, don't they?
Oh wow! Because Mike,
that's what I'm saying.
Overpass Overland.
Oh yeah.
We didn't make those shirts.
Oh, we need to make those shirts. Put them on the merch page.
Yeah, dude, that should be the next stickers or patches.
That should be.
I'd even buy one of those.
There you go.
Let's get Tyler to make Overpass Overland stickers.
I'm sure he will.
Let's do it.
You get so much negative press from that, but it'll be good press because press is press.
Press is
That's
press.
true. That's what we're
Speaking of
counting
bad
on with
press,
this podcast.
For the record, I did make a mistake. No, I've got 33 on the Rangers, 35 on the Bronco.
Okay.
Oh,
My
Yes.
bad.
Yeah. That
You got a
explains your
Bronco?
good gas mileage.
Yeah.
that does make
No.
a big difference.
Nick went
When'd
to
you get that
35s, and when we went to SEMA, we couldn't even make it to past state line without having to refill his truck. So yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
Brian,
was-
when are we putting the tires on your truck?
After Moab,
There you go.
yeah, and after the Long Range America fuel tank goes in, so I actually can get more than 200 miles of range.
Damn.
Yeah,
That
So
is
stay
the
on your-
thing. Every time we're on the trail, all the Toyotas are like, "Up, we got to fill up." I'm like, "Nah, we're totally good. We'll see you guys at the other side of the trail." It's awesome.
that's awesome.
My buddy had a Tacoma, and I can't remember what size tires he had on it, but he was on his way back from Arizona with a rooftop tent driving into a headwind, and he got like 9 miles to the gallon.
Oh,
Probably
I almost
31.
ran out of gas.
Yeah.
On 33s coming back from Expo East in 2016 in my Tacoma, we're going through Texas with that massive headwind that you get in Texas. And
80
Oklahoma.
mile an hour speed limit.
Oh my God. I was getting my fuel economy was so bad. I was drafting a semi for like the last 20 miles just to make it to the next. I almost ran out of gas between gas stations because I was getting like 7 miles to the gallon.
Oh God.
Oh, it
When
was terrible.
Kaylee and I went up to visit Billy, we were getting 18. So I was driving more conservatively than normal, but loaded down all the stuff on it, still 18.
That's because Kaylee gets scared, so she had to drive really slow.
I don't think that's true. I was just being very nice.
I've heard that actually.
Yeah. She gets really
She's
scared.
not here to. Yeah, she's
Oh
not
wait,
here to defend
what
herself.
is that comment? What does
What
that
is that?
comment say?
Her pop up
She
just
says-
said rude.
Rude.
No, I don't think it's
Producer Kaylee, thank you.
Yeah,
Sorry,
you
sorry.
can jump in here and defend yourself.
Yeah, go ahead, jump on, Kaylee.
She's like, no,
She's
She
gonna
might.
take you out later. She'll take you out
Nah.
later.
Oh, it's going to be way worse later.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
edit.
She's the other thing. We'll figure out what her timing is and if we can do expo because she's the one who wants to go. So I would take her.
Well,
But
good. Well, Kaylee,
Yeah.
if Liz bails out on you, which happens, you can just
She-
come up. I'll take
excuse
care
me?
of you.
I'm sorry,
Whoa,
who's
dang.
bailed?
Shots
Let's
fired.
be real here. I
Oh,
did
you're
not
gonna start
bail.
bringing in all kinds of personal stuff.
I didn't have to bring it up. You just did.
Oh, it's gonna be like therapy. You're
No,
just gonna
I
make
would
me
never.
cry.
I would bail. I'm here tonight. Damn, that's half of it.
That's
Just
true.
kidding.
Well, plus you're on a boat.
Yeah, you're in Magnum PI's little apartment there with your wood
That's what it
rattan
looks
and,
like.
yeah.
Brian,
100%.
you're a cabinet guy. I mean, what do you think of, she's got going back there? What's that called?
I don't know. That looks like boat work.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
love this.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
like
like
that
the best office I've ever
1970s.
had.
Yeah.
He's like live from
That's awesome.
Catalina.
You should see the carpet.
Is
Wow.
it shag carpet?
No, it's not. It is the most unique carpet I've ever seen in my life.
Nice.
One day we might redo it. I don't know. I'm kind of enjoying it.
Really
Silly.
holding back here.
Wait,
Yeah.
just wait long enough until it
Really?
comes full
I can see
circle, and then it's back in style again. That's
Yeah.
all you gotta
Exactly.
do. Yeah.
No, this stuff
Unbelievable.
is great.
Billy's
like
got a
it.
ways to go until that shirt's back in style, but you know.
First of all, this shirt is Dixon, and it's always in style.
What?
Dixon what?
Dixon what?
I'm sorry, not all of us wear a schmedium, Mike.
I've been going to the gym. Give me some slack.
Nice. What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing there, Mike?
Going to the gym. What do you
Texting?
mean? What am I doing?
He's texting.
Yeah. I swear to God, babe, I'm lifting weights.
I just go to look at the Instagram models.
Yes.
Fair
Taking
enough.
Selfies.
Yeah, taking selfies.
The whole time.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Text-
that's the annoying thing. Like
load
they're
up the
sitting
bar,
there
take
on
a
a piece of
picture.
equipment on their phone, and it's like you can go somewhere else and be on your phone. Like, you know, I need to use the shoulder press. Keep moving. But no, like, you know, as we had the whole health conversation a couple episodes ago, no, I started going back to the gym because honestly, I felt like shit, and I don't want to be 45 with bitch tits. So, you know, that's kind of a good thing.
That's a good
Yeah.
goal.
It's a good goal.
That's a good goal. Solid.
Honestly, though, sometimes they do come in handy when it's a boys' trip.
What?
Your bitch tits.
Not mine, maybe yours.
Don't put this back on me. You own it, Mike.
I don't even want to know what you use those for.
Oh.
Yeah, Billy, we don't want to know what you use those for.
He usually puts glow sticks on them and just does this thing. It's wild.
Hey, listen, I gotta adventure off road doesn't pay that well. I gotta make side hustle money somewhere else.
$20.
I'm
is
pretty sure
$20.
we were talking about Billy's OnlyFans earlier.
Oh,
jeez.
big boys in Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Listen,
Just a shirt.
it's a tough economy. If they're paying,
It is
I'm selling.
That Land Cruiser gets bad gas mileage, and gas is expensive. Put that money in my OnlyFans.
Yeah, I mean, those gas tanks are big. It's funny because the guy that had it before me did the LS swap. And so he did really nice, like, electrical gauges. And when you fill it, it's on full for like 2 weeks. But then when it starts to come down within like 3 days, it's at like 3/4 of a tank. And then it goes from like a $50, $60 fill up to like $130 fill up. It gets brutal.
God.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, because I mean, do you know what the tanks are? I think they're like 26 gallon, right?
I think, yeah, somewhere in the 20s. 20, I think mine was 22 or 24, something like that on my 60, but I don't know exactly. But I just put a long range tank in it, so it's 38 gallons now. So 38 gallons. I had to fill up the other day at $7 a gallon almost. So it was multiple swipes on the credit card.
God, that's just eye-watering.
Yeah.
So I remember when I had my FJ60.
Where was $7 a gallon?
That was over in Huntington Beach. It was like $6.79 a gallon. Yeah.
Yeah. It's bad.
We're at like $4.15.
Dude, I paid $6.65 for diesel.
Yeah, this is a few weeks
ago. Not allowed to do that.
So, yeah.
Do whatever you want.
Okay, good. Worst case, you blur it out.
I bought that
Haley,
Volvo.
edit that out. Mark it.
I bought the Volvo mic and I registered it. It was $114 to register it.
So my old F-250 Clifford that I told the DMV I paid $500 for. I got the tags. I've got the tags in the mail the last 3 years in a row. $250 every time. It's like that's half what I told you I paid for the truck.
You know what they did to me up here? So
fee.
I legit paid. So the Volvo I bought has a bad diff. We diagnosed it. The guy sold it because of how much it was going to cost. So he sold it to me for $1,500. When I took it to the licensing place, they did a Kelly Blue Book on it, and they said this is what the comps are for that car. And I'm like, yeah, but it's broken and it's on a tow truck, and I paid $1,500.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, it blue books for $9,000. But I found one for $5,000. Yeah, she's like, so I found one for $5,000, and I'm like, that's not what I paid for the car. So, but it was weird that they were either catching on to everybody lowballing the taxes, but they didn't make me pay that blue book. But I guess it goes in there for review.
Yeah.
So they could come back and send me a bill for the difference. But I thought
anybody that questions my $500 for Clifford is more than welcome to look at the pictures of when I picked up the ex Caltrans orange truck that was reshot red with like ripped up vinyl interior and floors. $500 is all that truck is worth.
Oh yeah.
Not now.
Yeah,
now
at least $750 now.
Yeah, at least $1,000. I got. My wife doesn't listen to this. Yeah,
it's full of gas.
It is.
Well, I guess you doubled the value.
My wife doesn't listen to this, but it's a $9,000, $1,000 truck, so
that's perfect.
Right?
Yeah.
I think we talked about that before with like gun values too. Like when I die, I hope my wife doesn't sell my guns for what I told her they were worth.
Yeah,
right.
Same thing as your truck.
all of you are witnesses. If anything happens to me, you guys got to make sure my wife doesn't fire sale the guns in the Jeep. So
just bring them over.
Make a will, bro. Leave everything to the cats.
Yeah, no. Funny enough, I've had this discussion with. I mean, you know me. I overdo everything, so I actually have a trust attorney that's gone through and done everything. And the discussion that came up was if something lightning bolt strikes, kills my wife and I, who takes care of the cats? That actually came up.
Good.
Billy.
Billy's doing
Billy.
Yeah, I'll take care of the cats.
You would actually take great care of the cats. I know.
Yeah, I love cats.
I think I have to amend my trust now. Billy's in charge of the cats.
Send a couple guns with them.
There you go. So
for the
Just kinda-
cats or just for other stuff?
No, just
I
for
can
other
imagine
stuff.
For other
strapped
stuff.
onto him.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
So Liz, I saw you at work the other day.
You
Oh, wow.
did. That was so
I-
awesome,
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Billy.
Damn.
That's
All right. So we're gonna handle that one
it
off
was a
after we
different
go off
kind
air.
of work, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
hey, you could bust
no,
my balls, but ooh.
Well, when a
Anyway.
joke is funny, it's funny. That just wasn't.
Yeah, so I walked into Hot Rods and Handguns with Aaron to meet Nick and Kim for Kim's birthday dinner, and there's Liz walking up, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Hey, what's up? I didn't know you were working. You work how many days a week down there?"
So I work a solid 3 days a week, and then I'll pick other things up. Sometimes, like I'll do lessons with Liz as a private event. I'll come out and do that, or I'll do private lessons for individuals. They can just schedule me other times. But typically, I'm only working like Tuesday through Thursday.
Okay.
Nice.
There.
So
Yeah.
the hardest part is my mom wants to get a gun.
Mhm.
She wants to learn how to shoot. I have zero interest. If people who aren't watching the YouTube are seeing me wave my hands, zero interest in
Negative
teaching my mom how
interest.
to use the gun. Negative interest.
Yeah.
I know a lot of women have been getting into shooting lately.
Yeah.
Is that something that you can do? That you
Absolutely.
get women into shooting? That's
So
awesome.
there are multiple ways. We have the lessons with Liz, which is a group thing. I will only take up to 5 entrants because that way we can keep it a little bit more personalized, but they can meet other women who are still interested in that. But it's basically you've never shot a gun before or you've done some. It's all for ladies, and I try to get them a little more comfortable with it. Or I do one-on-one 1 hour training, and that's all open to the public too. You don't have to be a member.
Nice.
Oh, very nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, I should get. Yeah, we should talk about that when Aaron and I and Nick and Kim were out shooting, and my wife has shot guns before, and she's okay at it. But when it came to instruction, a wife doesn't want to listen to what her husband has to say.
No.
So I literally turned her over to Kim and Nick. It's like, okay, you tell her what to do.
I think that's how a lot of marriages end.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah, pretty much.
quit telling me what to do.
The Mexican divorce of 45. So.
Wow.
Funny. I've never heard that.
So
I'm a great alternative to divorce. So just send your ladies over. I will take care of them. So women can, they communicate differently, but also they understand there might be other things that are, forward in our focus than a guy. We handle things differently and we approach things differently. So that's
as
what I'm here
being
for.
told, you always handle things the right way, and I don't ever handle things the right way. So I guess, yeah, we'll leave the firearms instruction up to you. So if any of our listeners want to take advantage of that, where can they find you?
So I'm at Hot Rods and Handguns. I am there Tuesday through Thursday typically, but you can also email us at 45shop, so 45shop at hotrodsandhandguns.com. So it's AND. But I'm there Tuesday through Thursday. We're open from 10 to 6, and the shop itself is open to the public. The Hot Rods and Handguns is a shooting and social club. So they have other amenities that if you're a non-member, you unfortunately do not have access to, but you'll have access to the front or to the first floor. So come check it out. Come talk to me.
That place, if you have not been, is amazing.
You gonna be a
Brian?
member?
Nope, I've never been.
Dude, come on down.
Yeah,
Are you a shooter, Brian?
I am. I haven't been shooting in a long time, but yes, grew up shooting guns with grandpa out in the desert.
Oh
That's the way to
man,
do it.
Yeah.
yep. Passed down. Same thing. My dad, same thing. Taught me about guns. Taught me how to shoot. You're a local boy, so if you ever get a chance to go to Hot Rods and Handguns, highly recommend it.
Yeah, I've driven by it. We have a supplier who's around the corner from there when they started building it, and I was like,
Oh,
oh,
nice.
that looks really expensive and dangerous.
Yes.
Not dangerous to my wallet.
Dangerous to the wallet, yes.
Yes. That's what I see.
The food's good. When we were there for Kim's birthday, it was Taco Tuesday. So I actually had the lengua
Oh, cool.
tacos.
Yeah.
Never had it before.
Really?
Yeah, I've never had lengua. Like, I love tacos. I love Mexican food for whatever reason. The part of the animal that can lick its own ass, I did not want in a taco. But
So I
being there
know
with
cows' tongues are super long, but are they that flexible? Kaylee.
oh,
Kaylee would know.
absolutely.
All that way.
Kaylee's gonna have a bone
Oh,
to pick with
geez.
everybody on this podcast.
No,
Afterwards.
she loves
We'll be-
cows. That's the only reason I asked her.
Okay.
Oh,
We're gonna be
she-
like, is that
yeah,
that's what it
listen
is,
to
huh?
They're so
We're gonna be
cute.
lucky if we have a producer after this podcast.
Yeah,
Thanks,
no.
Liz.
Hey, I didn't start it, and I did
Come
not
here,
do
you
the
dirty
worst.
cow.
No, but the tacos were really good. So it's crazy. It's like if everything in the universe came together in one spot, it was like cars,
Hmm.
shooting,
Hmm.
food,
Cigars.
booze, cigars, gun pro shop. It's like all
Yeah.
in one location in the middle of the
Yeah.
universe. It's crazy. So
And social events, we're working on some of those, but they also have the, what is it, the John Wayne Saloon.
oh yeah,
Dude, when
Ethan
that's
We
Wayne,
should
opening,
have
right?
a listener
so
party there.
cool.
we should
Huh?
have a listener party. You
We
would
should have a
actually
listener
have to
party
come
there.
down.
I
Yeah,
would
me
fly
too.
down. It's close to the airport.
That would
Absolutely.
be cool.
So is it true that bar upstairs was curated? The liquor selection was curated by Ethan Wayne.
I want
what
to
I've heard.
say, yes. Don't quote me on that, but that sounds absolutely correct.
Cannot confirm or deny.
They're connected with the Wayne family in some ways. Not Batman. Unfortunately. Just kidding. Billy knows
Just
I'm
the
such a
butler?
big Batman fan. So I believe that is a large possibility. But they did
Interesting.
get the okay to name it after him and to emulate his, I don't know, character. I'm trying not to come up with words and be the dictionary again. Thanks, Billy, for giving me a complex.
Go ahead
Wow.
and be the dictionary. That way we learn.
Thesaurus.
Try to learn something every day.
Hmm.
So you're a Batman fan?
I am a Batman fan.
What did you think of the new Batman movie?
I haven't seen it yet because I have a problem with
What?
Robert Pattinson.
So
being
did
Bat-
I. I hated him. He's the stupid vampire wolf douche. But
Yes. which I've
yeah,
never seen
Aaron
any of
drugged
those.
me to that movie, and I loved it.
Oh,
See, I've
There you
heard
go.
good things.
Good to know.
There you go.
I
Just
will
go
have
see
to-
it. Just go see it. You will not be disappointed. That's from somebody who cannot stand that guy. It was
Okay.
awesome.
Okay, fair enough.
good to know.
There
So,
you go.
Not that there's any bad Batman movies, but what is your least favorite Batman movie?
Oh, Val Kilmer, like without a doubt.
Is that Batman Forever?
Val Kilmer wasn't good. Mr. Freeze with Arnold, did not like that one at all. Jim Carrey is the Riddler, also kind of hard one to swallow, hard to watch. But Michael Keaton, love those Batmans.
Yep.
Christian Bale, phenomenal Batman.
Dude,
Yeah.
so good. So
Yep.
real.
Yeah, I'll watch every single one of those over and over and over again.
Adam West? No Adam West fans.
Well, Adam West is the original. Do we
Classic.
even have to mention Adam West?
Of course you mentioned it.
Yeah,
It's automatic.
yeah. I have the Batman movie. What was that? 1966. I found that on DVD. I bought it. It's terrible, but I love watching it.
Is that with the what is it? Shark repellent spray?
With the helicopter and the whole bit, yeah, it's that one.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good. It's so bad, but it's so good.
So bad.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I've been I've been Poison Ivy for Halloween a couple times. I should definitely do some more of the DC villains. That'll be it. But
Go see the new one. You
I
will
will.
not be sorry.
awesome.
You won't be
Nice.
sorry.
You won't be sorry.
You Canadian.
Billy, do you do the Batman movies?
Yeah, I mean,
No, he's just lame.
yeah, that's it. So lame.
No, I got this Hawaiian shirt. You know,
Wow, really? We back to that?
it's bulletproof.
It's the gift that keeps giving.
Yeah.
If we should have coordinated. If you would have told me, I would have worn my Hawaiian shirt.
We should do themed ones.
Yes.
I
We
was gonna
should
wear
do
my
themed
ugly
ones.
sweater.
Let's do that.
I was gonna wear my Dodger jersey because it's opening week, but
Yeah.
You know.
I got to talk to you about that offline.
Yeah,
and
we
figure-
took we
figure
took
out
an
how to
ass
watch
whipping
the
this
game.
week.
Mm.
What?
I got to figure out how to watch the games.
Yeah, it's
'Cause-
called pay for cable, Mike.
I don't want to pay for cable.
No,
I don't
nobody
want to pay
pays
for
for
400
cable.
channels just to watch the Dodgers.
Hmm.
So I looked at
What-
MLB. So me being me, I read into all the fine print. So did you know that the MLB blacks out games between the Oakland A's and the Giants in Guam? Just in case somebody in Guam did not decide that, you know what, I'm not going to go to the stadium and pay for a ticket to watch the game. I'm going to watch it on my TV at home. No, we're going to black out the game 3,000 miles away just so you cannot watch the Giants play the A's. I
So
literally
now you
read
guys
the fine
realize what Mike consumes himself with instead
Yeah.
of going camping or Overland
Yes.
Expo.
print. I should have been a
Really?
lawyer.
Oh,
You know, he's like, I'm gonna get online and argue about why we can't watch
Well,
games
no.
in Guam.
So
If you
me
keep
being
bitching,
me,
he
was
and I
gonna-
are gonna go camping without you.
Who, you and Mike?
Yeah.
Good luck with
Yeah,
that.
there will be no eggs served at breakfast.
Amen. No
Yeah,
Oh my
eggs.
god,
High five.
No.
Brian, you understand this shit? These two don't eat eggs in their breakfast burritos. Exactly. Exactly.
Silence.
that is wrong.
Right.
It's a breakfast burrito.
It's chicken
Yeah.
fetus.
Who
Not to these
decided
two.
that eggs were breakfast? You could
Oh,
have
everybody
anything
in
for
the
breakfast.
world except for you
It's
two,
universal.
I'm pretty sure it might be even an American thing.
and you're not American.
Eggs.
I am American, but you said anybody in the world, so I'm
In the
clarifying.
world.
And in Mexico, apparently, because it's a burrito.
Huevos
Yeah.
rancheros.
Wasn't
Right?
the
Yes.
burrito made up by Americans too? I don't.
Oh, probably.
Was it?
Who knows?
I have to look this up, but whatever. We can.
Yeah, but why would you want eggs taking up place that like chorizo and potatoes and
Potatoes.
salsa and everything else and,
And
cheese?
cheese?
Yeah.
Exactly.
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
No.
You gotta have
At the
eggs in
very
a burrito.
most, at the very most, I'll do light egg or egg yolks. I hate egg whites. They're just worthless, except
Yeah.
as meringue.
Except for all the clean protein and
No,
Yeah.
I would
They
rather
have
just
supplements
eat
for that
chicken.
now.
Well, I just know you guys aren't making breakfast for me then, because
Yeah.
eggs.
I would
Actually,
make
you
you-
would be missing out. I
yeah,
made lobster pot pies for breakfast the other day. You would
Okay, I
be
need
missing
that.
out.
I
Uh-huh.
would eat that. I retract my statement.
so is that
Yeah.
what's your go-to camp breakfast, Liz?
yeah.
If you're making it on the trail, like a good one, not like we're in a hurry, we're bugging out that day, but if you had time.
Gosh, well, see, I always make something different, and then half the time it's not considered breakfast food. But I mean, I'm a heavy meat eater. I'm a heavy carnivore. So all sorts of like steaks or sausages or I don't know, brats and all that stuff, and then potatoes, salsas, cheeses, just throw everything together. But again, I don't limit myself to breakfast foods. But you could even do like pancakes on the trail. I'm just
Yeah.
not an egg person.
We know
and then
we
what if
could
they
do.
break?
I'm
And then you
asking
have to
what
clean that
make.
up. Yeah, all of those things.
Brian, what's your
All of
go-to?
those things. Cereal. On the trail, I don't cook. I don't. I like to reheat. I don't actually take a lot of food unless someone else is cooking. I'll actually pay for the food that someone else is going to cook so that I can eat some of it.
If you
So
make
I'm known for
breakfast
doing that
burritos
pretty often.
beforehand, reheat the breakfast burritos in foil, and that's
Yes.
you don't even have to cook anything.
Yeah. I know
You
Mike-
literally
eggs.
have the trickiest setup for fridges and stoves, but you make cereal.
Yeah,
Just so we're clear.
it's 100% accurate.
But it makes life easier for us that actually do cook to use your stuff. So
Yes, it's 100% accurate. Yes.
Mhm.
I do the pancakes.
and Ensure shakes. You always get your Ensure.
Oh, God.
What?
Yeah. The last time we went camping, you pulled out these like 32-ounce bottles of Ensure.
No, I didn't, dumbass. I'm saying,
32 ounces. Can you
no,
imagine
I'll never
32 ounces of
Yeah.
Ensure.
He went hard. He's like, oh, listen, I'm eating
All
big
in.
today, boys.
All in.
I would be
Yeah.
headed out behind the rocks with a shovel for sure.
He's got Ensure, you've got Pedialyte. I don't know where we are right now.
Yeah.
The geriatrics camping regiment. No, but when I do breakfast, I love the little tiny Bisquics that you can just put
Mm.
water in, shake them up. dump them on the griddle.
Yeah.
The other one is sausage, making breakfast burritos or scrambled, no eggs for me. That's kind of my go-to breakfast. I don't do the cereal thing. I like a nice hearty breakfast.
If we're hiking and stuff, I'll do yogurt granola and some fruit because that's
good.
Quick and easy, tasty.
Healthy.
Yeah.
Super tasty.
I would always butter up a bagel and then cook each side of the bagel, then a slice of cheese, bacon, a little bit of ham, an egg.
Ooh,
that was
good.
You lost me an egg, but that sounded pretty good.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Dude, I'll never forget. We were camping, and I'm sitting there with my Coleman stove and my 60-year-old coffee percolator, and I look over at this asshole over here, Billy, and he's got he's got his Goal Zero or his Jackery with a Keurig plugged into it. Yeah, with a Keurig plugged into it. Oh, coffee right away, bro.
Yeah, what an asshole. I like my coffee with no mess and in a hurry.
It tastes better when you have to work for it. Earn the coffee.
Dude, the new jet boils are amazing.
Yes.
You can use that. Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
That's rich people stuff.
Amazon. Well, I don't
want a Jackery and a Keurig.
Huh? Yeah, no shit.
Your $1,000 coffee machine.
Listen, the Goal Zero was the expensive part. Unbeknownst to me, Oxbox was going out of business and they had this bundle sale and they're like, bundle sale. And I'm like, I bought the bundle. And then when I called back a week later to find out some stuff, they're like, yeah, we went out of business. But I got everything for $200. So
China ran out of blow molded plastic and lithium ion batteries.
I don't know what happened. I don't know how that failed. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I got to do the. I actually got to pull the Ram into service because I got to put. I actually got to do
tires on it.
It has all terrains on it, dude. I don't got to flex.
You can throw some
street tires because you don't take it off road. I know.
Throw some slicks on it.
Expensive. I got to save a dime everywhere I can.
You roll coal down beach.
Yeah. Emissions, equipment intact. Everything on that truck is carb legal. You think I'm kidding? It actually is. Everything is carb legal on that truck. So.
No one's questioning you.
Unlike your Land Cruiser swap, Billy. Carb doesn't apply to Washington State.
Yeah, there's no smog in Washington. What do you want me to tell you?
For now.
That's perfect.
All the California liberals moved up there, so it'll only be a matter of time.
Don't bring your hate speech up here.
Hate speech.
So I do want to bring it back real quick to I commend you so much for changing your career. You just waking up, figuring out you want to change something and starting new. A lot of people are too afraid to do that, especially depending on what stage in life you are. So I didn't say it earlier, but I really want to commend you on that.
Yeah, seriously, Brian.
Living the dream.
That took some balls.
Yeah, thanks.
It does.
It's definitely been fun. There's no doubt. You do. It's kind of like what you guys are doing right now, right? You enjoy it and you have a good time doing it, so it's not really work.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it is. There's always stressful days, but for the most part, it's pretty awesome to be in this industry and making stuff for it.
Awesome.
I know you get to play with stuff all day, just like I do.
Yes, right off all my camping trips.
No, not like that, Billy.
No. That's a good idea.
We are actually busy people, okay?
Who's we?
Oh, jeez.
How are you going to say that?
I'm very busy, thank you.
3 days a week. Very busy.
Yeah.
So
no.
2 hours a day.
In your off time, you're still doing a lot of photography, right?
Yes. I do a lot of freelance outside of my 3 days a week at Hot Rods. So
awesome.
Yes, I am always busy.
And your Instagram is amazing with pictures.
It is. You do take fantastic pictures.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Ansel Adams over there with the. So do you? Obviously, I get cracked on because I use a iPhone for a camera. So
iPhone's a great camera.
Yeah, it has a great camera, but for whatever reason, people feel the need to put down camera phones. So, Liz, what do you shoot pictures on?
So I do use my new phone, but it is not an iPhone. It is a Samsung. It's the Ultra. But what I mostly use, especially for my work, is Canon. I still use a Mark III, 5D Mark III, and then I have a Sony A7R II. But it's hard for me to commit to the newest upgrades because with technology, it's like, oh, I bought this. Oh, there's a new one. Shit. So they're doing just fine for me. I'm probably reaching my limit of actuations, but we'll
For
see.
most people like me, like I don't understand a word you just said. So
every time you press the shutter, it
Okay.
wears out on certain things, and so there's like an expected life or a life expectancy for that.
Really?
So with my Canon, it's probably going to go out sooner than later. I hope not, but
and then you'll have to replace it or rebuild it.
yeah, basically.
So like because I look at your Instagram and the pictures, they look
Those
amazing.
those are all camera. I did just get this phone, so we'll see if it has anything up to snuff. But there's something about a camera.
Does the majority of your followers or the people paying you to take photographs, can they tell the difference? Because I can't.
I can.
Well, you can, but you're a professional.
So one
It's
of
like
the
when I
things,
get a guy with a Jeep in with a hack-ass suspension on. Oh, I got the best suspension there is. It's like, yeah, yeah, sure you did.
Yeah.
right. So one of the things that people look for with when you have a phone photo, it might not be able to print to the same size as a legitimate photograph.
That I
When you're looking online, so one of the things is how these systems process light. And how clean you keep the lens itself, because the lens, the glass on your cameras, on your phones, that's kind of that's the major part of your camera. So if you have scratches or fuzz on that, it doesn't matter what you're using, it's going to be messed up. But if you, so some phones I've seen can create an image similar to a camera, but you've got to be key on that light. If you don't have good light, you're not going to have a good photograph. So they are blurring the lines, but I still, especially size, like if I'm printing wall-sized images, I'm not going to use my freaking phone for that. So.
Yeah, that I have noticed because I've had to look at some stuff, and then when you blow it up, it gets all pixelated.
Pixelated, for sure.
So that's what it is.
Yeah. 2
Interesting.
megapixels. Yeah.
There you go. In film, you can zoom in as far as you want until it gets grainy because there's no pixels. Is that accurate?
I'm not entirely sure how to answer that. I've worked in darkrooms before, so if I'm actually using film, but no, with cameras, if you're not shooting RAW, you've already screwed yourself. But if you're shooting RAW and you're trying to print large format, there still will be, I don't know, there's an end range basically. So if you want something massive, you might have to take like panoramas or something, so you have multiple photos you can stitch together so you don't lose any of that detail. But so there's always like an endpoint, and it depends on the quality of the camera, quality of the chips, and everything that you're using, because even the memory cards can play into it. So
wow,
yeah, it's quite
complicated. And that's why
complicated.
you get paid to take fancy pictures.
Amen to that. And my eye, I'm not gonna like, I don't know, talk too much about it, but people will go out and take a picture, but to look at that versus to look at something that I've seen, just the way that you frame something. Not everyone has the same eye. And then again, some people have, in my opinion, a horrible eye, but it appeases a group of people. So, it's art. Unfortunately, it's subjective. Fortunately, unfortunately.
All art is subjective.
Yeah. 100%. So. But you can tell when someone has a good eye, right? I mean, you just look at the photo and you just know that that's an epic photo. And I can't see any of those things when I try and take my camera. I have no clue what the hell I'm looking at. I'm looking at something, someone's taking a picture, and I take the same picture. I was like, okay, mine looks nothing like this. I have no eye for photography at all. It's absolutely terrible.
I just take pictures, and I'm like, oh, that looks cool. So maybe Liz can go through all of our Instagrams and just tell us we're hacks or give us
I'll just
tips.
go through and like only the ones that are like worth anything. So if you don't get any likes, I'm sorry, guys.
Or you can just share the post back to us, like send the post back to us and go, what were you thinking? You're an idiot. God, you're a hack. Put your phone down, please.
Yeah. When you go through my personal Instagram, you'll just see photos. Any photos on there that look good are not my photos. They're some photo that someone sent to me.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And if you ever need product photos or like in life photos, hit me up. I'm good for that too.
There we go.
Do you have a photographer, Brian? Do you guys use a social media guy? That I don't know.
No, I mean, we have, Natalie handles a lot of our social media and she does some
Nice.
photography. Joseph does a little bit. Neither of them are professional photographers.
Mhm.
We have hired a couple of people, and I do have, friends that I used to camp with a lot. Justin Pitcairn, who has a great eye for photography, Pitcairn Overland.
Awesome.
And then Frank Lopez has a phenomenal eye for photography as well. And so going camping with those guys for years and years and years, they really filled the coffers for us in the very beginning with just incredible photography. And so we have paid a few people in the past and in different times. So, but we definitely need some good photography always.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Send their accounts over to me after too. I want to check their pages out.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome.
Oh, the critic.
No, I like photography. I want to see it.
Yeah.
Calm down, Mike. So you're going to take us out of here, Mike?
Yeah, absolutely. Brian, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate you doing this.
My pleasure.
It was great having you on. You're a great guest.
Well
spoken, great stories. It's really inspiring to see what you've done and where you've come from and where you're at now.
Thanks.
You're the epitome of the hobby. This is, you're kind of doing what a lot of us wish we could, and you went all in, and it paid off.
Like literally started in not a garage, but a cabinet shop, but literally homegrown. So
started with an idea, and you shifted gears. I think that takes more risk than anything.
How many countries do you sell in now?
So we've shipped stuff all over the world, right? And then we built trucks that have been shipped all over the world, like people that travel. We just started talking to a few international dealers. So because of the growth in COVID, we actually pushed off a lot of people because we just had, last year we had 80% growth, which is unbelievable to be 80% growth.
How do you keep up with that?
It's awesome. Don't get me wrong. It's awesome, but it also comes with a lot of headaches, right? Especially when you can't get materials and you can't hire anybody. And the last two people we tried to hire, they both accepted the position, did all the paperwork, and then didn't show on their first day of work. So it's a weird situation right now, but we're just now actually starting to open up. We've got a dealer in Kuwait that is going to be carrying the product, Oman, dealer in Germany we've been talking to, Mongolia.
Wow.
So we're just now getting ready to make that next leap to go international. So looking forward to it.
Brian, make sure you invite us all over to your beach house.
Actually,
when all the hard work pays off.
I won't have a beach house. I'll just have a really nice international overland rig that travels all around the world.
There you go. Invite us into your camp for breakfast burritos and cereal. So
I'd rather have that than a nice compound. I'd rather be traveling everywhere.
I don't blame you.
Amen to that.
Check out Goose-Gear, everybody, on Instagram. It's at Goose-Gear. And then what's your website, Brian?
It's goose-gear.com. So goose-gear.com.
Yep. Check out everything Goose-Gear has to offer. Phenomenal product. And this is in no way endorsed. Brian's paid me nothing. I sell and believe in his product. So yeah, here you go, Brian. Thank you. But yeah, no, I've been installing it and selling it for years. So check out Brian. Thanks for coming on. Liz, always a pleasure.
Yeah, Liz, the show's always better with you here.
It is always better with you here. And we appreciate you coming on when you're in town. I know you're extremely busy. But I do appreciate it, as does Billy. So that's it.
Awesome.
For Liz, Miss Elizabeth Keller on Instagram.
Yep,
fantastic photography. Billy is at Billy in Bellingham. I think most people know our Instagram handles. I am Long Beach Mike. Thanks for listening to Dirt to Whiskey, and we will please like and share this. So we actually grow through you guys, and we appreciate all of our listeners. So thanks again, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Take us out.